All right, guys, so welcome back to the channel. Today I've got another cool interview for you guys. I'm sitting here with the team from GenerEOS. They are also the creators of the EOSToolkit. I wanted to share some of the things that they're working on with you guys and introduce you to their team and their project. If you guys are not aware yet, now you know. So how you guys doing?
We're great.
Man.
Yeah, great.
Good. Yeah, thank you guys. So we have Tom, Ty, and Nathan with us today. And so I wanted to ask you guys maybe you guys can kind of start, whoever sort of wants to take the ball, be my guest, but sort of start, I guess, with introducing yourself. I know you guys are based in Australia, correct?
Yeah, so we're based in Sydney. Nathan's in Canada at the moment, but we're a social enterprise, EOS block producer candidate. We plan to give our profits to charities and community initiatives. We've also developed a toolkit, which I'll hand over to Nathan to talk about, but I work on community and events with GenerEOS.
Thank you for the introduction. I want to know, I guess about the toolkit a little bit more. I know I've seen it myself, but maybe you can kind of explain people sort of the overview, and then we can dive a little deeper in some of the cool specific aspects of it.
Yeah, for sure. Basically, as the EOS mainnet was coming online, I had seen a lot of people putting out voting tools. They want everybody to vote, but there's so much functionality available through the CLEOS command line, interacting with the EOS network in general, and no one was putting tools out for that. And so I put this together. There was an intro sort of classic version that was a little simpler so that people could start creating accounts right away. People could start staking and unstaking and basically take full advantage of the EOS network as soon as possible, because I know a lot of people aren't super comfortable or familiar with Linux servers and command lines, and I didn't want them to miss out on taking advantage of all these features as soon as possible.
Yeah. I think, again, that's why it caught my attention. I mean, you guys have a ton of, features. It's a pretty robust, toolkit that you guys have. I think it's pretty cool. And like you said, I think that was a good need in the market because everybody was talking about voting, but, beyond voting, casting your vote, right? People should actually use EOS for some of the cool things that we can use it for in its current state. So appreciate you guys taking initiative and making something, recognizing it was something that people need.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things that people can do with it? I'm looking at it now, but if you want to maybe cover some of the things that you like the most or you think are most valuable.
For sure. I think the two things, there's probably a couple things people use the most. I think create account has been probably the biggest feature for a lot of people. Everybody got their sort of randomized account name when the snapshot occurred. And then people want to be able to create accounts with the name they want and try to secure those names as quickly as possible. So the create account functionality is probably our number one tool. After that, some of the useful tools, people had all their EOS staked right from the beginning. So the undelegate or unstake functionality allows people to start unstaking their EOS so they can start trading it, getting it either onto exchanges to sell or just moving it to other accounts or using it for other reasons. And then a very powerful tool for a lot of the people who felt their keys might have been compromised was the permissions changer. This lets you change your active and owner keys to a completely new key, or you can use different keys. And so then if you felt your key was compromised, you could act quickly and change it before anything happened.
And what feature is that exactly in there that people would use to do that?
So you'd find that under the Manage Account drop-down, and it's called Manage Permissions.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and I think a lot of people would be curious. So whenever people would use the Create Account feature, would that be to create an account where it has to be 12 characters, or could people actually try and pick a custom name with less than that using that feature?
So the standard Create Account is the 12-character names. We have the premium names functionality where you can actually bid on those shorter names, and none of those names have been awarded yet. I think the first awarded name is coming up here on July 4th UTC, so Independence Day, get your someone's gonna own the name EOS for a whole lot of money. I think it's currently at 50,000 EOS is the current bid.
Wow, for just the regular EOS, just the three-letter name? Wow.
Yeah, that's right. But the person who owns those three letters can create any account .eos. So they can create Dallas.eos, generous or just gener.eos, whatever they want.
So do we know
that's
who's
going to
actually
be valuable
on that bid, Nathan?
So do we know the highest bidder?
Yeah, do we know who the highest bidder's identity is?
Well, I think so. Let me look it up. The current
That's
highest
wild, yeah.
bidder is Start EOSIO BP, whoever they are. Start EOSIO BP.
All right.
Wow.
Okay.
And so for people, I think a lot of people are curious. So whenever they bid and they buy that name, where do those funds actually go?
So those go into like basically a premium name fund. If you get outbid, you get it back. And if you win, it just stays there. And the block producing
sorry.
Block producing EOS community can decide what to do with those funds in the future.
Cool. Okay. Interesting stuff. Yeah. And I think, I think a lot of people, who are, I mean, like all of us, right? We're all newer to EOS, right? Cause it's a new thing, but I think a lot of people aren't quite aware of how many things they can actually do right now, which is pretty cool. So, I'm definitely going to link, EOSToolkit.io in the description below for anybody watching, so you guys can see and check that out. It's pretty interesting. I'm still working through all the features myself, and I've spent some time on here. So it's pretty cool. What was that?
I was going to say a big feature I just released literally half an hour ago is the Airgrab tokens.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
Right. So obviously, you've done your own airdrop, and airdrops can be very expensive on RAM. And so to try to make it easier for the community to develop tokens, I created a new smart contract, a revision of the EOSIO.token smart contract that I called Poorman Token. The name was thanks to Syed from EOS Cafe. And basically it allow people to register for the airdrop, or we coined the phrase, once again, thanks to Syed, Airgrab. And the person airdropping can choose to either drop only to those people who opt in, or choose to do a mix, or have certain promotions, whatever. It's pretty flexible. So,
cool.
For people to start testing it right away, we've actually launched the Poorman Token, and people can start opting in for it right now. The intention is just to test out the contract so people can feel comfortable using it. We hope lots of people participate.
And so if I understand it correct, what that would sort of do is allow, the project who's airdropping, they wouldn't have to necessarily put up, either any or as much RAM as doing it sort of the typical way we did, correct? By doing just a straight airdrop?
That's right. So the RAM cost per user is about 128 kilobytes. The table to store your account balance has 128 bytes, 64 bytes for the balance, 64 bytes for just the symbol. And so now you spread that out amongst everybody. So instead of having to spend 40 megabytes of RAM dropping to 200,000 accounts, everyone can opt in, spend a trivial amount of EOS on their own. And that means, a lot more people can bring tokens to the EOS ecosystem.
Yeah, that's exciting stuff, man. I woke up today and had like 3 or 4 texts from people asking what I thought about the RAM costs and what it all means. And so yeah, I think more tools like this that can sort of give another option for people, I think are much better for the community, right? I mean, I don't think airdrops should necessarily be free, right? I mean, there should be some sort of cost to do it, because it is good that the project who's doing it values it enough to put something out to basically make it happen. But the Airgrab feature is awesome. I'm going to try that out myself too. Pretty cool. And I recommend anybody else watching to try it out. Cool. So I see there's also a governance tab on there. There's the premium names. So in the premium names, people can actually vote for the different names, correct? Or put a bid on the names that they want that are less than 12 characters.
That's right. And then a few other experimental features. We also have the EOSIO forum post. This is leading into basically an on-chain governance, on-chain proposal system that several BPs have been working for. And, we just like to try to use the EOSToolkit as a platform to get as many people interacting with moving EOS forward as we can.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's an inevitable thing, right? I mean, some people, right, are avoiding EOS because they've got, sort of certain feelings about it, or they just haven't tried it out or done the research. But I think as time goes on, I think it's going to be an obvious move for a lot of people. I had somebody yesterday try and send me Ethereum, and the transaction, I went and looked at it. It was crazy. I think there was like 60,000 unconfirmed transactions yesterday. And, you know, with it being maxed out already, and the transaction took hours to get to my account. It was insane. And, you know, and that's at like a very minimal actual use case, right? I mean, like there's not even a ton of transactions happening on it per se relative to, you know, any level of scalability that I think we all want to get to. So it seems like it'll be an inevitability. Yeah. I want to do a video this week, I think, having, you know, sort of two screens open with, you know, with two wallets open and just show how fast the transactions are. It's I can't even log into the other one before it gets there. So I think that'll be a refreshing thing for people relative to what some of the other options are in the space for sure. So, okay, I want to ask you guys sort of as a crazy pivot, if you don't mind. If I'm aware, I think you guys are doing some charitable things as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's our intention.
Okay, cool. And with a name like GenerEOS, right? It just makes sense. Can you guys maybe tell us a little bit about that? I don't know if Tom, you'd be the right person to start, or Ty, whoever wants to start. I'd love to hear.
So we've announced that the first recipient of our charitable donations will be the Guatemala volcano victims, and
Cool.
and we're also working on our charity statement and donation statement, which we'll share, and we'd love to come back and talk to you about it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think maybe there's some way to work together. Definitely. I mean, you know, with everything we're trying to do with Karma, I think it maybe could make sense to try and combine heads and see how we can do more good. You know.
That's right. Like a part of our introductory stage, obviously the EOS network is still quite new, quite fresh. And so working out, you know, all the block producing rewards, the environment, and trying to move eventually to a decentralized system for selecting those charities as well, and providing mechanisms where other people can sort of bring money to the fray and donate and see those donations going where the community feels it'll be the most help. Those are all things that are on the roadmap.
Yeah, and I'm just excited, I think, for, you know, sort of using blockchain, right, for charitable type of things, because that was a big thing we found while doing research for Karma was, you know, it's crazy. I mean, there's a lot of charities who do a lot of good, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of charities where a lot of the money doesn't actually go where the intended donor hopes it's going, right? At least the lion's share of it doesn't go. So I think by having, you know, either where those funds go, you know, traced basically on a blockchain or traceable, you know, I think it will actually ensure that a lot more of that money goes to do the good that it's intended to do. So I think that for me, that's something I'm really excited about, as I'm sure you guys are.
Well, I'm just going to throw this out here. A big part of our DAC initiative, like I mentioned, the EOS forum test and what it brings to the fray to have people vote on initiatives. And I think we could see in the future where when we have charitable funding rounds, we can have people bring in their own tokens as well. We don't have to use our own. We don't have to use our own infrastructure. We could say, hey, this month, if you're a Karma token owner, come in and vote for, you know, who you think needs to be supported. So I think there'd be some great opportunities for collaboration there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's, I think we have a couple good ideas just on this call for sure. But yeah, we'll have to see what we can do. That'd be awesome. Okay, cool. So we know who GenerEOS is, I think, pretty much now. I think we have a good idea. But we've heard about some of the cool features of the toolkit and, you know, obviously some of the awesome charitable things that you guys are doing. What else is there, if anything, do you guys want to share with the community right now? And what do you think is the best way for people to sort of interact with GenerEOS and get involved with some of the stuff that you guys are doing?
Well, we're currently doing a big drive to get the EOSToolkit translated for, you know, our friends all over the world. So if anybody has, you know, wants to reach out to us and wants to help out with translating, we'd certainly love to hear from them. Also, people who are airdropping tokens or want to get involved with the Poorman token, they can also reach out and we can make sure that they're properly represented on the EOSToolkit, and we can just help them out with any questions they need as well. I'm not sure if Tom and Ty, you have any other things that you guys have been working on.
All right, just on top of the toolkit aspect, yeah. So I actually checked the analytics. So we actually have surprisingly a lot of Chinese and Korean users on it already, despite that it's still in English. So yeah, it would be great if anyone from those areas could reach out to us, because we'd love to get that across to the Asian communities as well.
To help translate, correct?
Yeah, definitely. And even
Awesome.
to help with some tutorials, because unfortunately, like I can speak a bit of Chinese, but not to the extent where I can teach people how to use the EOS toolkit.
That's like my Spanish, man. I'm trying to learn
Yeah.
as well.
And we're also got our meetup roadshow as well. So we're taking EOS and our toolkit to the crypto community in Australia. So we're starting in Sydney. And so we plan to roll that out in the other major cities and hopefully globally in the not too distant future.
I believe
Amazing.
we'll
Yeah,
also be at the Sydney Hackathon, the Sydney EOS Hackathon in August. So
You should come.
Okay, cool. Yeah, man, I would love to. I'm gonna look and see if that's possible to make it out in August. I've never been to Australia. I've always wanted to go, so maybe it'd be a perfect time to go check it out. But yeah, so any important links that you guys have that I can share with the community, I think would be awesome, and I want you guys to send over. Or go ahead.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, because I remember you mentioned the easiest way people can find us and have a chat with us is on our Telegram group. So the Telegram group is t.me/Gener
Awesome. Yeah, and I'll be sure to link the not only the Telegram but the toolkit for you guys, and any other really awesome important links that you guys want me to share with the community as well down below, so that people can find that easily. But yeah, I mean, thank you guys for coming on. I really appreciate it. I'm excited with some of the newer features on the toolkit myself to go on and use it out, and I've seen it for a couple weeks now, or it's because it's been out for a few weeks, right? And I've seen sort of new things get added and all that. So I love seeing, new tools and starting to use them. And especially when new things are being added to them as well. I really appreciate that myself as just a user. So thank you guys. I really think that the toolkit and some of the other things you guys are working on are providing a ton of value for people. And I think anyone who hasn't checked it out yet should definitely check it out and support these guys, because they're really working to make cool tools that will make your guys' life easier as users of EOS. So check it out.
And let us know how to make it better.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you guys. So like I said, guys, I'll link to everything below. Thank you guys for coming on. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'd like to have you guys on maybe again in a couple of weeks, or maybe we'll do it live in Australia if I can make it out in August. And then awesome. Definitely. Yeah. And give everybody, any updates that you guys can share. And then let's stay in contact. I want to see how we can maybe work together with Karma, or, beyond that, just to help out the community. So thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
Sounds great, guys. See ya.
Yeah.
Thanks.